All right, we are here at the Big Shot, sitting here with Chris from Flaw. How's it going?
Good, good.
Yeah. So you think coming up here, you thought it was going to be spring weather, huh? Come up here with fucking snow.
Yeah, Mother Nature's definitely drunk and bipolar.
a lot of issues.
Yeah.
A lot of issues.
Yeah.
So last time I talked to you was a few years back. It was at Farm Rock, quite a ways back. You guys been around, a few changes here and there, but for like 20 years now?
Yeah, almost
20 years.
Almost 20 years. We formed Flaw over 20 years ago. The first record came out October this year. It will be 17 years.
So from your first album till now was 7. That's a long time to be doing a lot of stuff. Pretty soon, well, another 90 you can be Rolling Stones, but
yeah.
another 90. But so how has things progressed in your eyes through the time that you've been in Flaw, from the time of your first album to now? What kind of have you heard a lot of changes in your music, or have you stayed kind of close to where you started?
I mean, I think especially with this new record, we've stayed extremely close to the first record, like
Okay.
our core writing, our core writing style. We basically, the second record was a bit of a departure, but that's because the two main writers on the second record weren't the two main writers on the first.
Okay.
And we got that back on this one.
Okay.
So, I mean, a lot has changed. The whole industry has changed as a whole.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when we first started making music, that was even before the internet, like right around, like right at the beginning of dial-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so a lot has changed. Most of us have families now, kids to support,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So it's we've learned to roll with the punches, but to also basically, over the past 20 years, we've absorbed as much as we possibly could about the industry.
Yeah.
We know so much more. We can make better informed decisions. We have a lot more control also. We have a lot more creative control and all that too. So yeah, we're just really glad to be here, especially after all this time. Really glad that our grassroots fan base has stuck around. And
yeah, because there's a lot of fans that have. I mean, even when I saw you at Farm Rock, you had a ton of fans there, and you guys are kind of like, people follow you. People, are still wanting more. You guys put out an album. It's not like, oh, Flaw's got another album. It's like, holy shit, they got another one coming out. We got to get it. Does that still kind of give you that rush of, dude, we got to hit the road because this new album has really picked up? Or?
Well, yeah, I mean, in our genre of music, you have to tour in order, to not only stay relevant. The general public has a very short attention span.
Yeah.
If you take too much time off, or you take too long to put out another record, someone else comes in and fills that spot.
Right.
We love touring, and touring is a lot different for us now than it was back in the day too, because we handle a lot more in-house. We don't have a crew of 5, 6, 7 people, traveling with us that we have to pay a salary to.
Right.
We don't have 3 different corporate guys telling us what to do on a daily basis. It's also because we know more now, after all the lessons that we've learned. We know more about how what's expected of us without having to be told.
Right.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world. To be able to do something that you love to do as a career, it's an amazing thing. And if you enjoy what you do for a living, then you really never work a day.
Right.
So, there are some days where it does feel like work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but it's all worth it in the end.
Yeah. So how long have you been on this one? How's this tour been going, and where have you guys been? And
Oh boy.
because you guys, this has been quite a. I've been trying to follow, but.
Well, this tour actually, pretty much stayed in the Midwest and the East. The tour before that was the Midwest and the West Coast. But since the record came out, we've been back and forth across the country probably 3 or 4 times.
Really?
And it's only been out for about 5 or 6 months.
Oh wow! So you guys really hit the road hard and.
Yeah, we're pretty much on for 4 or 5 weeks, off for 1 or 2, on for 4 or 5, off for 1 or 2. And it goes that way, throughout the course of the year.
Yeah.
And then with the summertime coming up, you got all the summer festivals and radio festivals and stuff. So it gets even more busy.
It picks up as soon as April and May hits. It's just like nonstop.
Yeah.
It's everywhere that we could send teams. From us, we try and do as much as we can to help everybody out as well. But yeah, you're right. It is. Hey, let's hit this place. Let's hit this place. Especially with your new album. That just came out. Not very old, but by the summer, it should be quite a bit across the country, like you said, because you've been touring. So everybody should hear it now. You should be ready, and then the next. You start hitting all those fests, everybody's going to know it. So do you still get that rush when people sing your songs out there?
Oh, of course. I mean,
yeah.
It's that's never going to go away. Just the connection that you make with people when they're able to actually relate to lyrics, and then especially when you have a packed house and the crowd singing almost louder than the PA system. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. So now home life, what do you do when you come home? Are you just like, let's just relax, or do you go fishing? Is there anything that you do down south there?
Yeah, I love the outdoors. I love going camping and fishing and hunting and all that stuff. But we're in a different major city every single night on tour, and you really don't get a whole lot of sleep because when we have some of the shows you have 4 or 5, sometimes 600-mile drive to the next city, so you don't get a chance to really sleep in a bed, so you're not really getting REM sleep. Right. So anybody that tells you that you get plenty of sleep on tour is
bullshit.
Not telling the truth.
Yeah.
So I normally like to try to catch up on sleep. I spend time with my son, and
how old's he?
He's 3.
3?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a 16 and a 14-year-old as well.
And a 3. Ooh, there's a gap there.
Yeah, there's a gap there.
Any one of them showing any type of musical interest?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's definitely going to run in the family. I don't try to push it because I want it to be their decision. I don't want them, I don't want them to feel like they're obligated to do it because I do it.
Right.
I will, I'll give them whatever guidance they want, and I'll help them out, but only if they really want to.
Right. Yeah, I have a grandson now, and he's 10 months old, and when I'm on air, he's got to be there on my lap. And he'll try and like eat the mic, because he sees me talking.
Right.
Or if he's standing in the living room, he'll actually start headbanging to the music. So it's like, okay, he's got it in him too. Although I don't have rhythm, he's got rhythm, I don't have rhythm.
You got to start it out.
But so your 3-year-old, how does he do when you come home? Is it still? Does he realize you're gone for so long and come home, or how does? Because he's young.
He does.
A little bitty guy.
He does.
Yeah.
I bring him out, for a night here and there, every once in a while. And he's been involved. I've had him up on stage or a sound check and stuff. He understands. And he's seen my videos, and he's heard my songs on the radio, and if I'm driving in the car and I pop a CD in, like, he automatically knows whether it's me or not.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So he knows what I do. He's not happy about the fact that I leave, but he understands that other dads have to leave for their job too.
Right.
Whether they're military, or whether they drive a semi, or whether they airline pilot. There's a lot of other jobs where you're gone a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's I miss that time, but I also want to be able to provide for them, and I want to make sure that I don't put myself into some kind of dead end job where I'm miserable, and then that comes out ends up badly affecting my family.
Right. The two older ones, you ever take them on the road and no?
No, that's no.
No. Well, I was gonna say, did you
That's a
ever,
long story.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I was just wondering if you ever took them on the road and, had them do anything on stage, if they ever played, an instrument or anything, or,
Yeah. My daughter, who's the oldest, she sings.
Okay.
She's done a bunch of different school projects and stuff.
Okay.
But she's at the age where I don't really want her around this type of situation.
Yeah.
She's right on that cusp.
Uh-huh. Mine's going to be 21 in June, and I don't want her around this.
Yeah, well, it's not so much, it's because she's a minor, and and I don't want, I've got my public face on, and I don't want,
It's a whole different persona.
Right.
Than dad to rock star, right?
And I also don't want to have to deal with some, drunk who's, trying to make advances or something like that, because then it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just do it from that.
You should nip that in the bud right away, just not even bring them. Well, that's good though. She sings and is involved with stuff like that. So, do you guys? I mean, back to home life. Do you take all of them camping? Do they all go with you? Do you guys all kind of just hang out when you get home, or?
Well, no, because my two oldest are with my ex-wife, and we don't really get along. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not as easy of a situation, but I don't want to talk about that.
That's no, not at all. Okay. No, that's fine. I get there.
Yeah.
But so how long is this tour going now? When are you guys wrapping this up?
We only have about a week left on this one.
Oh, okay.
It's a 5-week run total, and we're 4 weeks into it right now.
Okay. Are you guys just heading straight to south now after this, or?
No, we actually continue to head west.
Oh.
The last show was in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
So then we have a long trek back, and then we have just about 3 weeks off before we head right back out.
Okay. Do you have that tour mapped out now already, or is it still in the works?
There's like maybe a week of it that hasn't been confirmed yet. So I'm not allowed to release anything until the whole thing's set. Just so there's no confusion. But we should be announcing those dates within the next week.
Okay. And then we'll keep on keeping track of them and let everybody know where you're going to be, and we'll hopefully you'll come back through here. And like I was telling you before, we started. I live right down the road from where we're at now, and you are more than welcome to crash out, even if you just walk in the front door and fall on the floor and fall asleep. That's fine, because it's when my kids are there, it's almost like old hat for them, because they'll come in and they're like, oh, we're gonna step over people again. Like, well, but it's what we do. My kids know, and we all get up. My kids and we all get up and we make everybody breakfast and send you on your way. And you guys get showers and wash your clothes if you want, whatever.
Okay. I appreciate it, man.
And whatever you guys need, just let me know, and we'll definitely help out. So,
all right, thank you.
But hopefully we'll keep in touch a lot more now.
Okay.
It's been a while, but I got your the PR guy's contact now. The guy that I've been talking to that set all this up.
Okay.
Tom, yeah. So now that I got his information, we'll be able to keep in touch more. We'll get your next tour or next album and get you, keep up with you. So appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you.
Have a great show tonight.
It's gonna be good.
Flaw, check them out. Go get their stuff. Facebook, and what is the website?
Flawband.com.
Flawband.com. Okay.
Right, and then also facebook.com/flawband.
Okay, so it's Flaw Band, and then go check them out and buy their stuff, because that's what keeps them on the road. All right, we'll see you a little bit later. We got Righteous Vendetta coming up, and we'll see you later. This is Asgard Radio.